And in fact, there was. And somebody went in there and cleared all that out.
We're here to listen.
Yeah.
And on me, and they dumped all the cuttings and everything. They took the lumber to the sawmill and took lumber off of it, and the rest of it that couldn't, you know, the limbs and everything, they dumped in a ravine that was on the north side of it.
Yep.
And so.
Yeah, so that's over there. I visited that too. So you went back there and looked at it, that property.
Well, it's still there.
Yeah, I was there. I went. Candy and I went back, took a look at it. It's sitting inside that one guy's property out around.
Yeah, I was going to approach him and see if I could. It's right in the middle of his.
Yeah.
The ranch, and that was the Phillips Oil Company guy that was head of that.
Yeah.
Was the one that had that property.
Yeah.
And
yeah. Yeah, he bought a lot of that around there.
Yeah, and
Well, we still might do that sometime. We might swap him out, see if we can get it over on the road.
Get 10 acres on the road.
Yeah.
Now see, it's on section line.
Mm-hmm.
It's on a section line.
Mm-hmm.
And if you want a road back to it,
mm-hmm.
they have to give you a right of way back to that 10 acres.
Yeah.
And I followed I went down and got a map.
Mm-hmm.
I got a map, and it's on the map.
Yep, we still got that map.
And went back in there and took a look at it, and
yeah.
That's around in that area is where you drill a water well and you got nothing but gas.
Hmm.
I mean, you'd have to go through and cement the gas off to get underneath to try to get water.
Oh.
And
well, I remember it's kind of up on the hill because the Illinois River was down the.
Well, it wasn't too
down
far
the hill from it.
From the river, and there was a lake.
Mm-hmm.
Seemed like the lake was Warwick or something like that.
Yeah.
Lake.
Yeah.
If I'm not forgotten it.
Yeah, and the 10 killer was down that area somewhere, farther away.
10 killer.
Yeah. So now, how did you wind up getting that land? Was that the original land, or was that a swap?
That was the original land that was given to me in 1907 when they passed out land, and I had Barnesville. I had. At one time, and I didn't do this, but the one that was there in Duncan, the person who was assigned to see that my business and everything, I was young at the time, and he traded. Had 160 acres there in Duncan.
Mm-hmm.
And that's where that 160 acres came from, trading from where I had that originally at Bartlesville.
Mm-hmm.
Well, at Bartlesville, there was a bunch of oil wells was drilled on that,
Yeah.
and when they made the exchange, but that was before those wells were drilled up there, and they made the exchange, there was one oil well on the property outside of Duncan there.
Mm-hmm.
And on that 160 acres that...
And that's that one, right?
Huh?
That's still the one you got?
No, I don't have the 160 acres.
Not the acres, yeah.
I had 10 acres,
Mm-hmm.
which was the original 10 acres,
Mm-hmm.
which I got which passed to me personally,
Mm-hmm.
and that's the 10 acres that's still there.
Yeah.
And they considered that your home 10 acres, and then the 160 acres that was traded was at Bartlesville, and they got all wells at Bartlesville area up in there, and the Osage Indians had land there,
Mm-hmm.
and it was with the block that they got 160, and then the Osage tribe had they had 160 acres and so forth, and then 10 acres was considered to be a home 10 acres.
Yeah.
And that was supposed to be you.
Yeah. Yeah. Yep.
And that's the one I still got.
That's one you still got right over there. Yeah.
I was offered $1,000 for it a few years ago,
Mm-hmm.
and right now it's worth a whole lot more than $1,000.
Yeah, it might be. I know we were back there. We looked at it about 10 years ago or so.
And it's not rough land or anything like that, but it's not on the road.
No, not on the road. Well, they're not. It's not a big road around there. Just a little dirt road around most of that area right there.
But the Phillips Oil Company guy and they had a ranch out there, and that was, Phillips 66,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
and he had a ranch there.
Yeah.
And
So do you think your mom had any Indian blood in her? Or do you know? Had she ever talked about that?
well, her name was Bray.
Yeah, well. But you take the name of other people, so.
Well, there's a little town there in Oklahoma named after him.
Mm-hmm.
Bray, Oklahoma.
Yeah. Yeah.
B-R-A-Y, Bray.
Yeah.
And that's...
Was that named after her dad or who?
It's named after her dad.
Mm.
And then there was another group that was close to them, and their name was Winkler.
Yeah.
Winkler, I'm sure of that one.
Mm-hmm.
And pistol that got stolen when we had that station there.
Yeah. Yeah, I remember that. Yep. Well.
And I think that, I don't know where, somebody broke in there and when we had the little store there between J and Grove,
Mm-hmm.
that's where my mom had the little store.
Yeah.
And her sister's name Hawkins.
That's your buddy, M.L. Hawkins.
M.L. Hawkins.
Yeah. The Hawk.
Well, the buddy that I ran around with there in Duncan, his name was Weinerger.
Yeah.